What is going on, my homies? I have a video I'm pretty excited about for you. So very rarely do people like ask me to like do product tests, like real like new school like tests of stuff, and that's exactly what we're gonna do in this video. So you guys know I love Gambler Lures. Val owns it. He's a very good buddy of mine. I love throwing that stuff. 12 months ago, Val hit me up and he's like, dude, I know you love offshore fishing. I know you love like catching the suspended fish, like spots and all that, drop shot, little, Demiki rig, things along those lines. And he's like, dude, I got something for you. And I'm like, I'm interested. Go on. So he's like, I've been working on this weighted hook deal, and it sort of combines, like a lot of guys are throwing a hover rig. So it's a hover rig concept, and a lot of guys are throwing this hover rig, they're using nail weights. You probably saw the cast swim baits video we did. So we basically took that little, it's like a 3.1, it's almost like a Kitech, and we put that nail weight in the belly of it and fished it for those spotted bass that were moving up as well as largemouth, and it worked super awesome. So he's like, bro, I got something that solves a lot of problems. And I'm like, So this is what it is. Basically, that is a Gambler Super Stud right there, and you can see almost through here. So this is what the product comes in. It's totally like demo deal, dude. This is like the prototype thing. So it comes in a plastic bag right now, but it'll be better packaged in a minute. So you can see it is a weighted hook. And what's different about it is the eye is actually set backwards. So you have the weight around the hook, then you don't need the nail weight. And then this nose actually sticks into the head of the bait. So you sort of offset the bait backwards. So it actually sort of does this weird sort of wacky, almost wacky rig, weird sort of hover drop. And it's only a 1/16 of an ounce, so it's pretty light. So when you pair it up with that plastic, it does hover. It doesn't sink very fast, so it allows you to fish for these suspended fish. So what we're gonna do today, we're gonna try to find us a school of fish that has some suspended fish mixed in, maybe find them with a crankbait, swim bait, whatever, and then we're gonna bust this thing out and see if it'll actually catch some bass, dude. It's really cool, and I'm really excited to try it because it solves so many problems that I've run into when it comes to these suspended schools where, they won't bite a swim bait because it moves too fast through them. They won't, bite a drop shot because it's just sitting there on the bottom, only slightly elevated, and they're higher up off the bottom. It definitely, if it works, it's gonna be absolutely sick. So hit that like and subscribe button. We are going to test the new Gambler hover hook. So much fancy. I wonder if he's important, right? Let's go try this thing out. Just a ton of bait, dude. Look at all this. You can see it on the red one, but the blue one, it really shows up. You see all the pods of bait? So there's a few. You see the little pot of bait right there? So there's a pot of bait, a couple on the bottom. I can see one on the side right there. There's another one off to the side. So here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna get the lay of the land with that crankbait. I got that Berkeley Dredger, dude. I absolutely love that thing this time of year. It's easy, it's compact to throw, and I can really, really burn it, and it fires them up. So I'm gonna kind of figure out where they're located, and then we're gonna dangle that hover rig. I actually have no idea how to fish it, so I'm gonna just kind of wing it. We'll see how this goes. Nice one. That's another good one. You want to keep just enough pressure on them to keep them pinned, but not enough to pull the hook out. Because that is a great big largemouth. Don't do that. Bro, they are down there. I can't wait to try this thing out. So what I have is it's the hover hook right there. And what you usually do, you can take a fluke. This is my first time doing this, so it's all gonna be an experiment. This is a Gambler Super Stud, but just like a minnow shad looking style bait. What you're gonna do is take that hook and find kind of maybe like a 1/4 inch back on your fluke, and you're gonna thread it on just like you're threading on a jig. So boom, and then thread it back.
And what you're trying to do is just cover that full shank of the hook right there. So I'm gonna go ahead and stuff it in, and you can do it two ways. You can push a little on the front, and then you can pull on the back of the hook right there, so it basically kind of slides right in. And then what's going to happen is that little kind of nub is sticking out right there, and this is where it gets a little tricky. You're basically going to kind of slide the head of the bait over that nub and push forward so it sticks inside of the bait. And that's why you need to be kind of having a couple baits, because sometimes you'll kind of tear that thing, and then you just kind of jostle it a little bit. You want it fairly straight, doesn't need to be perfect, but that is the rig right there. It's a hover fluke rig, and what I'm going to try to do with it, like I said, I've never fished this before. What I'm thinking is these fish are super suspended. I caught a couple on a crankbait, and I saw a lot like up and over that wouldn't go down to my crankbait. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to toss this thing out there. I'm going to let it go down. We're in about 13 feet of water. I'm going to let it go down like 5-6 foot, and I'm just going to kind of shake it, you know, just like I would like a Nico rig, and see if they react to it. Let it flutter down, because one of the things that I noticed, I already dropped this in the water with a bait on it, is it does this sort of like darting kind of action. It's almost like a soft plastic hard jerk bait, so it darts around, and then like the name says, it hovers, you know, it stays in one place. So I'm gonna see if I can't trick some of these suspended fish with this little rig. He come off.
That might be a big one. Don't come on. That's a largemouth, dude. That's a giant largemouth. Got you. Look at that, dude. Look how he ate that thing. And it come right out. I just caught my first true hover rig fish, and it is going to wax dass. Dude, look at this thing. What a beauty, bud. We gotta get her back. How about it, boys? Absolute toad-alicious. Oh, Bog is losing his mind. It's a 5 and change. All right, we'll get you back. Ooh. Okay. Mikey's got the naughty sauce. Another one on the hover rig. Not a spot, is it? No, it's like 3-pound largemouth, dude. It really looks like a spot, but it isn't. It's like a mix almost. Little hover rig. He came up and got it. Bro, you might have ate it too good there. Almost too good. Nice. I like it. It is absolutely stupid. This thing is kind of naughty, because once again, just like forward-facing sonar, it allows you to fish for fish that you really struggle to fish for with traditional baits. And that's really one of the cool things. Like, not only do you need forward-facing sonar, you need this whole arsenal to attack those fish that you see on forward-facing sonar. Like my active target is showing me things that we never fished for. I'm blown away by this thing. I don't know when it's going to be out. If it's out already, I'll put a link to it if Tackle Warehouse has it. But this is the hover rig. It's the hover hook from Gambler. It's a weighted hook. Got like a 1/0 sort of hook on it. Light wire, you know, because this is a finesse approach. I'm throwing this on 12-pound braid to 8-pound fluorocarbon on a spinning rod. It's not very heavy to throw, a little heavier. This one I think is a 16th ounce actually, so it's a little heavier than a traditional fluke. Really casts a lot like a Nico, so you can kind of bomb it pretty good. It's just if the wind catches it sometimes. But
it's very nuanced to fish, and I'm sure there's a million different ways to fish it. What we did today is we tossed it out to some of these suspended fish and basically kind of Nico twitched it and gave it like two quick like twitches, and then we let it sort of like settle and sit in one place, and then it would slowly glide to the bottom. But I'm sure there's like jerky ways to fish it, you know, with your rod tip down. There's a million different options, and that's the cool part. And the fish super duper reacted to it. What's crazy is I actually saw them on my active target come to the bait. Like they literally, when they saw it, they would come up and get it because I'd stay above their heads. It was just mind blowing to watch how they reacted to something that, let's be honest, it's kind of stupid. Like, I'm not gonna mince words, but the reality is it works, and it catches bass, and it catches big bass. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. You are definitely gonna see me playing around with this hover concept a lot more. I gotta grab some more of these from Gambler, but check it out, dude. I'll put links to everything that we used at Tackle Warehouse. And like I said, if you guys design baits, if you get an idea in your head, make it happen, because this is like the renaissance of bass fishing when it comes to forward-facing sonar and reimagining or looking at baits and presentations differently. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm gonna give Bog a pat for you. He's sleeping right now. Tight lines. We'll see you back out on the water.